Oh boy, we all hate to say it, but WWE fucked up on this one. Pretty badly as well. Yeah, the first match out, Drew McIntyre won the Money in the Bank briefcase. We all know it should have been Jey Uso, not just because that was the hype train, but it would have made more sense. It would have made more sense to have CM Punk screw Drew McIntyre in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He's already screwed him in the world title matches. He didn't need to do that again. Now we have a wasted briefcase. There is no briefcase. WWE thought, yeah, we'll screw all the other potential superstars in the match, have Drew win the briefcase, cash it in on the third match of the night, only to get screwed by Punk again, something we knew was going to happen anyway, to set up the angle for the already massive rivalry between McIntyre and Punk, so we can build to a SummerSlam match that we already know is happening. Oh, in my prediction, I said everyone thinks that's the angle they're going with. I said, and I think Punk's going to screw him in the ladder match, and Jey Uso's going to win. Only that's not how it went down, and I'm genuinely think that's how it should have went down. So there was me, 0-1 in the predictions. Second match out, Sami Zayn defends the Intercontinental Championship against Bron Breakker. It felt so unnecessary, right? Bron Breakker, a new superstar, building his hype in his first big pay-per-view match that you're giving him on the main roster, he's going to lose in. Come on, man. The only way they should have attacked that match was Bron Breakker winning the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn is boring as Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn was in Canada, and I hate to say it, but when Sami won, the reaction was not that loud. It wasn't. You know, why? You know, it seemed like a waste of a match. If Sami was going to retain all along, and that's not to say, you know, if champions are going to retain, they shouldn't defend. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if they were wanting Sami to retain, they should have put a different opponent in there. Put him up against Sheamus. Put him up against anyone that can take a loss that won't hurt their career. I mean, Bron Breakker was building so much momentum. He was like, he's been causing chaos in every episode of Raw, and Bron Breakker would have been a perfect Intercontinental Champion, especially because he's the polar opposite of what Sami Zayn is. So I think missed opportunity there, but I'm on 2 in the predictions. Third match out, the World Championship match. The right winner did win. I did say Damian Priest would win, and he should have, because if Seth had won to get cashed in by Drew McIntyre, Seth to go to SummerSlam against Gunther, they're not going to give Seth the World Heavyweight Championship just to lose in a month, because they're also not going to have Gunther lose at SummerSlam. They don't want to give McIntyre the belt, because then McIntyre would first of all have to face Gunther and not CM Punk at SummerSlam, but then also they don't want McIntyre dropping the belt in a month, or Gunther losing the opportunity. So it has to be Priest going to SummerSlam against Gunther, so Priest can drop the belt to Gunther. But I just think they didn't need the Drew cash-in. They really didn't. But also the look from Finn Balor suggests there's a build-up storyline going with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So either Finn Balor's going to turn on Damian Priest before SummerSlam, so therefore there's no Judgment Day to help Damian Priest against Gunther, or Finn Balor will cost Damian Priest at SummerSlam, and then Gunther wins the title, and it sets up the story arc between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Then the fourth match out, what should have been the main event, the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, incredibly good spots. Now, I heard there was a lot of botches, but with women's matches, they tend to botch a lot. But there was a good spot. Zoe Stark got taken out off that. Some were saying a pile driver, but the move off the top rope that Io did to Tiffany, to Zoe Stark. And then Chelsea Green, who should have won, I did say it would be Tiffany or Chelsea. Chelsea was about to grab it, and then Tiffany pushed her off the ladder. She goes crashing through 2 tables, and Tiffany won. I'm not mad at that. I did predict Chelsea, but I'm not mad at Tiffany. I said Chelsea or Tiffany should be the winner. And Tiffany won, not surprising. At least Chelsea got the main pop of the match. At least Chelsea was in the main part of the match. Not mad at that. banger match. But also, before I address the main event, we had a surprise appearance, right? Trish Stratus was obviously the host of the show, but at one point she said, "Please welcome the 16-time world champ John Cena." Now, this is nothing new. John Cena has been returning to Money in the Bank for years. I mean, he returned to Money in the Bank 2021 after Roman beat Edge. He returned to Money in the Bank 2023 when we were in London, saying he was going to bring WrestleMania to London. But now he's returned to this Money in the Bank. And it ain't for a good reason either. John Cena told us that last night was the night he's announcing his retirement. Jaws dropped. Everyone knew it was coming, but we didn't want to hear it. It's the day we're not ready for. However, he did say he was not retiring there and then. He says he has one last run in him, and it's 2025 is when he's retiring. First he said Royal Rumble will be my last, and I thought his last match at Royal Rumble, that's so stupid. But then he went Elimination Chamber will be my last, and I went, oh, he's going Elimination Chamber as well. And he went, and WrestleMania will be my last. And everyone's thinking WrestleMania Las Vegas, John Cena's last ever match. No, he went to the press conference after and he says he's hoping to run from January through to December. So 2025, we could have a full-time run from John Cena before he retires. But I just think that's so sad. I mean, obviously it's inevitable. These things got to happen. People got to retire. But, man, John Cena, literally the best ever. Greatest of all time. No one can touch him on the, hands down. Whether you loved him or you hate him, people who hated him probably hated him because he wasn't the greatest wrestler and he was getting put over a lot, but that was his character. And John Cena was the very reason I got into wrestling. I would not give two shits about anything that happened today if it wasn't for John Cena. I remember I used to be a kid, I used to watch YouTube. I used to watch a YouTuber called Fred. And obviously John Cena was in the Fred movie. And I discovered John Cena and I started watching John Cena. And I was watching John Cena's matches. And I fell in love. Everyone I knew, it was linked to John Cena till I started becoming a frequent watcher of WWE. And I know he's not around that much anymore. It already does feel like he's retired because he's not an active part of the roster. As much as WWE like to make him return, he's not an active part of the roster. It doesn't feel like he's part of the roster. But to know next year will be the last time we ever get to see him, I've got to be there for that. And I will be. Normally I can't be there for Raws and SmackDowns because it's on Peacock or it's on Fox or USA Network. I don't have those stuff. I'm in England. I could maybe get Peacock, but still no. This is on Netflix. I have Netflix. I can watch Raw on Netflix. And I'm going to be there for John Cena's last year. He was the one that got me into wrestling. If I don't pay respect and be there for him, I'm doing it wrong. But now moving on to this main event. So the main event, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Hua Tonga Loa getting left out, but I said there's 4 members of the Bloodline. I said there was going to be a twist. I reckon they're going to bring out a 4th member to fight the Bloodline alongside them. Thought maybe it could be Jimmy. Maybe even at a push it could be Roman, but then we found out Sika's funeral was today, so Roman definitely wouldn't be there. And probably Jimmy wouldn't be there, but then I thought Jay was at Money in the Bank despite Sika's funeral, so there maybe could be a chance Jimmy could have been there. But no, still nothing. There was maybe even talks last minute because John Cena was there in the night, John Cena could step in. No, nothing. Literally nothing. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens had their 6-man tag. And despite, Cody being the champ, Randy being the legend, Kevin Owens running on that momentum of his mother being in the hospital, they still had the Bloodline win. The Bloodline still won clean. Yeah, Tonga Loa got involved, but his only involvement was getting RKO'd. So, Bloodline won clean. What was the point in that? Why was that the main event? Nothing big happened, right? Especially when the whole show was flopping. Nothing big happened, and that was the main event. And then the Bloodline win clean. Are you joking? They didn't set up any more angles. because Bloodline won. They didn't set up any angles with Jimmy or Roman. Anything going forward. Nothing. What was the point in that? I just think all the decision making in this show was completely wrong. It was completely wrong. CM Punk should have screwed McIntyre in the ladder match. Jay should have won. Braun Breaker should have won the Intercontinental Championship. Should have been a fair match between Seth and Damien, with Damien winning. Tiffany, I'm not mad at that one. Maybe Chelsea could have won, but Tiffany I'm not mad at. But the main event, they should have brought out Jimmy Uso, and get he was probably busy, but still, I reckon Jimmy Uso could have been brought out. And Team Cody should have won, man. It's just... I mean, the best thing was after the show, when they had, like, after that post-show thing, you know, with the panel, Drew McIntyre came out and was talking shit to the camera, and then he started pushing refs and officials, and he actually had a fight with Adam Pearce, which built up a lot of drama. Some people were actually speculating whether it was real or fake, as obviously for the screening, but that was probably the best part of the show. I mean, we can't say John Cena was the best part of the show, because now we've just been informed we'll have one more year and we're never going to see him again. Not impressed, WWE, not impressed, but you have SummerSlam to redeem yourselves. I don't care, the product right now is amazing, just because the show didn't go how we thought it should have. We're not the writers, they're the writers, maybe they're setting up for something bigger. We don't know. But SummerSlam will pull through. Thank you all so much for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.